Welcome to the Bungalow Sports Show. I'm your host, Cole James Rambo. That's Joe. Today you're Joe.
Just Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're more of an adult to me today. So you're
First it was Joey, then it was Drew.
Drew Foster.
Drew
last
Foster.
Week, yeah.
Now I'm just
You
now
brought
I'm just
the
Joe.
cool last week with Drew Foster, and now you're just you're a colleague.
Oh, okay.
Joe. It's my colleague Joe.
I like it.
Yeah, it's my sports colleague. How have you been this week, my friend?
Good, dude. Good. Had a couple of upsets this week on and
A lot of stuff.
I'm excited to get into it. And What about you? How was your week?
It was pretty good. Want to throw out an I'm sorry to one of the proprietors of Peak One Sports, Tony Nix. We had a couple tried to get an interview scheduled this week a couple of times. I got some new software going, and my work week just kind of blew up towards the end, so I kind of had to. We're gonna postpone it. We took a rain check, so not that he's gonna fire me now.
He's very upset.
He's
Yeah.
super upset.
We've been getting calls from the studio all day.
Yeah. My agents won't stop fucking calling me, asking me what the fuck's going on. How could I treat the owner, the CEO? I don't know. I wonder if they've decided on titles over there at the at the head offices over there.
Should we give them titles?
I don't know. Maybe this episode will prompt them to give themselves titles.
It would be unfair to assume, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's pretty cool, because we're like the rebels, because we don't even live in the same state as the suits of this network. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're off in California surfing, growing our hair long. You know what I mean? We talk about what we want over here. The suits can't touch us. I'm in a different time zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't think about what's going on an hour later.
In order to touch
Wait,
us,
are they an hour or 2 hours?
I think they're ahead. 2 hours ahead.
2 hours
Yeah.
ahead? Okay.
They'd have to go back in time. They'd have to go back to the future to hit us.
Yeah. Sorry, Tony, about flaking on the interviews, but you'd have to go back in time to punish me.
And that ain't happening right now.
No. I think he's pretty eager to come on, so that's cool. I had Ashton was the first guest on this show on the pilot episode. We need to get him back on. Now that I have the new software, we have the ability that if we set up interviews, you can be on camera too. We can do like three-way things, you know what I mean?
Amazing.
So, it should be pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Joey doesn't come in here more than once a week. Without you're gonna have to make an amendment to his contract. Yeah, he's only contracted for 1 day a week. But so if you want him to take part in the interviews, maybe a different day of the week,
we can work it out. I have a few lawyers that we need to talk to.
We're gonna have to talk numbies, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna have to talk numbies.
I was told that I'm actually not supposed to say anything until my lawyer's here.
You're right.
I have a tendency to just give myself
not
away
even
for
about
free.
Sports.
Yeah.
Can't even talk sports today until your lawyer comes in. Yeah, Joey's been kind of like a freelance guy, because it's been like a trial period. I didn't want to give him the big contract right out of the gate. The first 2 episodes were full of incentives.
Right.
If he hit certain incentives during the episode, he'd get more money. But now he's looking for more of a long-term deal with the Bungalow Sports Show. And but that's what the suits are for. That's what the agents are for.
That's right.
We don't need to talk about that stuff. We don't need to resent each other. We don't need to resent Peak One Sports Network because of deducing us down to just numbers and statistics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We let the agents take care of that, so no feelings are hurt.
Right.
We're not Lamar Jackson over here trying to negotiate for ourselves.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah, we got the contract figured out, but what about all that stuff?
I'm the MVP. We're talking about practice.
What about all the stuff that was said during negotiations? What about I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
I don't want to have those feelings of resentment.
When you said that I was the honeydew in the fruit salad, nobody likes the honeydew. But I'm there to take up space.
They push it to the side.
Yeah. I'm just there to take up space, and so it's like that hurt my feelings.
Right.
And that's why I called Lester Weissman.
That's your representative.
That's my representative, Lester Weissman.
Could have been a little less Jewish with that name.
That's the only way to go.
Now I feel like we've gone into racial territory and we need to move back to sports. All right.
Okay.
100 subscriber challenge. I've gotten word from the higher ups at the network that they like it. They like the idea. we had a couple of ideas, non-sports related. Just we should put shot collars on ourselves and give each other the remotes. I don't know how that's a challenge. Is it just to see
I think it's just for the people
who taps out first?
I think
like
so.
Just do an episode with shot collars.
I feel like you have a higher pain tolerance than me.
Oh yeah, no,
but I might surprise some people.
I've worn dog shot collars before.
Have you really?
Oh yes, very.
In what environment did you wear these?
So the first time I was ever shocked by a dog shot collar, I fell asleep watching Angel on my friend Nick's couch at probably 3:00 in the morning.
Okay.
And they had a lot of dog shot collars, training collars, because his dad would like raise hunting dogs. So they had some legit ones,
Okay.
like the ones that are like strap and then have like 2 metal prongs.
Right. Those are like the OG ones right there.
Right, dude. And he put one of those on my neck while I was sleeping on the couch, and that woke me up.
Yeah.
So that was my first foray into it.
Now, did you evacuate your systems or?
Well, I mean, they're not trying to kill the dogs.
But I feel like the tolerance between humans and dogs is different.
You think the dogs have a higher tolerance?
I think they have a much higher tolerance.
I think they have a much smaller body, so I don't think, I don't think that's
so?
the case. I think there's a lot more going on. Well, you know what? The dog's got that fucking tiny brain, so maybe they're I don't know. It wasn't like an evacuation thing. It was more of a like frozen. My left arm's frozen. Kind of a thing. But I always been kind of a psycho. Like when even younger than that was like high school age.
Mm-hmm.
But even like junior high age, when like somebody's parents had that Evel Knievel like little spark clicker thing for their joints, we used to shock each other with that all the time. You know what I mean? So I've been dealing with electrical shocks.
It makes so much sense though.
But yeah, so if we were to get on this show and do a podcast with shot collars on,
you'd probably win. No doubt.
100%, no doubt.
I think I might surprise some people.
I think. You evacuate your bowels. Good thing the camera's only from shoulders up, dude. Yeah. Otherwise, we might have to have a piss camera for that episode. Right. Who pisses their pants first? No, we're not doing the shot collar. Thanks for the input, but we're not doing a shot collar, okay? We're going to do something sports related. It's a sports show.
Electrical shocks aren't sports related?
I don't think so. How is that sports related?
What if we tried to like run through the park? And just but we constantly got shocked. Like Paris was holding the shocks, or
do a sporting event while
wearing the shot collar. And like if I score, if I were to hit a slapper in, right, and you get shocked. Or we're trying to throw darts. What if we're trying to throw darts?
Else? Huh. How about no shot collars? We'll do the on ice shootout with shot collars on. Like I get to see myself like going down center ice, and all of a sudden. Just freaking flatten out and just hit flat down. Just going, triple deke, 1, 2.
Yeah. Or like we're out at a baseball field and like every time you hit a foul, just. I
don't know about that. Oh, maybe a wiffle ball home run derby we could do.
That'd be pretty cool. Because if you hit a foul, you shock yourself.
Why are we still talking about shocks? We're not doing the shock.
If you hit a home run, you shock the other person.
I already thanked the gentleman for the comment and for the suggestion of the shot collars. I like it. I like the engagement. We need you guys to comment. But not everything that comes across the table is a winner. Make it. It's just the way it is. But that being said, everybody out, we did gain some more subscribers for the network this week. The viewing numbers are actually climbing for all the shows, so it's pretty cool to see. It's not like craziness, but it's only been a couple weeks. So,
and thank you guys. Thank you for the support and all the love.
Yeah. So, and if you're watching this right now and you're not subscribed, go subscribe. What could it hurt? And you'll get alerts that tell you when the shows are premiering, when they're gonna start. All that cool stuff. Like even like Paris, because Paris watches the show. She'll go on and watch the show, and she was like, "Yeah, I was gonna comment on that guy's shot collar comment, but it says I have to have a profile." I'm like, "Well, just make one
real quick.
Just make one so then you could subscribe."
You know what's even funnier is that YouTube is linked with Google now. So if you have a Google account,
you don't even have to like type in anything. You just sign in through Google.
It's amazing technology.
You just click a button and you have a profile. So go do that and hit subscribe, comment. engage. You know, I've been doing some research on just the best ways to get us floating around in the algorithm, and comments seem to be like the most important metric for that. So let's comment. Let's get in there. Let's chop it up. Mix it up. Paris said she's gonna start trolling people. So troll with her, dude. Go in there. Go argue with my wife in the comment section.
And we have nothing better to do than to interact with you guys.
She loves to argue. Like, that's one of her favorite.
Is Persian still? Is that?
What do you mean? Well, that's what they refer. So, like, people who are Iranian from Iran, like culturally and heritage-wise, like Iranian, still refer to themselves as Persian.
Really? That empire was just so deep, huh?
Right. But then but also for a way to elevate themselves from the other Iranians that may have came from other parts of the world.
Okay, respect.
Because that's what I know. Here in America, we like to pretend like we have all the race problems and all of the cultural differences that cause people to dislike each other for no reason whatsoever. I know America, we like to think we have the market cornered on that.
Yeah.
But I hate to tell you, everybody in the world hates everybody else that's not from their part of the world. It's just the way it is. Like, I don't personally. Joey has a lot of hate in his heart. I don't. But I'm just saying, not like as a general thing. I know people don't like, you can't generalize. It's like, yeah, you can.
Like, he has blonde hair, blue eyes. I have to check it every time I walk at the door. Every time I get to that door, I have to just.
He opens it up and he's like, oh yeah. He's just like
he opened up the door and I was already in a squatting position, ready to just take a giant dump on his.
No,
on his
I
porch.
open my door and Joey just stares at me and goes, Ubermensch. Like, he looks at me like, you are what the world is supposed to look like. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, Joey, I'm uncomfortable. But no, why do we always got to go back to racial topics on here? Okay, Persians don't like other people. They like Persians.
Hard stance.
Yeah. Really broke the mold. She really broke the mold, marrying just a flat, generic white guy. Like, we did my 23andMe. And, like, so, like, when you're just straight up white.
Right.
Like, you're born in America. Like, as far as your family goes back, as far as what parents have told you, with me, it's like, we're Okies from the Dust Bowl, the Depression era, like the people that came from the South and the Midwest out to California during the Great Depression and all that stuff. But that's not that long ago.
No,
that's not heritage.
Well,
that's
those people were from somewhere else before that.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, when you're just generic white and just Heinz 57 is what they always used to call it when we were kids, like just mixed of all different types of whites. Nobody really knows where anybody came from. Like, the spellings of the names aren't even the same as they were when the ancestors came from Europe, because they all got changed at Ellis Island, or they changed it to make it easier to say, whatever. But, like, my parents before that, because of the Great Depression and how they didn't give a shit about anything but survival, right?
Yeah.
There was a gap there in white people that don't give a shit about their heritage.
Right, because
it's
they're
like,
focused on.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a full-blown Irish guy, because all the Irish guys who full-blown, they're all real proud of being Irish or Italian or whatever. If you're full-blown whatever, you're proud of it. Like, I'm not full-blown anything. I'm a mixture of a bunch of people that then ended up in a place that ended up being the worst place in the country to live, and they had to flee that. So there's a whole bunch of traumatic events that caused them not to care about, like, their heritage.
Right.
And when you're white, you can only hope that, like, maybe it's something cool, a cool white. You know what I mean? Like, my whole life, it was like, we're Viking heritage, Norway, blah, blah, blah,
absolutely.
blah, blah. So, like, in school, I would do, when you do, like, your heritage reports, like, different things throughout,
you
like,
always
elementary.
put Viking.
Always did, like, Norway, blah, blah, blah. And my uncle, he used to, like, one of my uncles used to, like, make his own Viking weaponry, like, over a fucking fire and shit,
Oh, my gosh.
And do all these Viking, like, rituals and big teepee fires and stuff out of his house, and, like, I'm like, damn, okay.
He's all,
but then
you did the 23andMe
came out.
Yeah, it's harsh reality, ain't it?
It is a harsh reality, because it also, not only does it, like, is it the result not as cool as what you hope they would be in most cases.
Right.
I'm sure in some people find out some pretty cool stuff. But, like, in mine, all it did was just, like, spread out the whiteness even more. And it's just like, oh, it's like I'm I'm literally like 76% Northern UK and French. Europe, like French, Bavarian, like German, French, Irish, British is like 70% of my. So it's just a bunch of those whites just mating.
Yeah, mine was like Eastern European.
And then the other 25% is Lithuanian or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, Eastern Bloc European, Northern, but it's all Northern European.
And it's so funny that you lose all that, right? Because you talk to your parents or your grandparents and stuff, and like my grandma was very proud to be Italian.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my grandfather very proud to be Irish. And I don't really have very much of either of those in me. So, you know, it's very funny to sit there and like try and figure this stuff out.
Right. So that was the thing. It was like, all my childhood, it was like my dad's side was all Viking, Norway, Sweden, and then like my mom's side was like, I don't know, it's all German, right? But then it's just like, hey, you guys don't know anything, because it's like, there's some German in there, but it's more French from
so then we have French because my family is from Mexico, right? So on my mom's side, so French and Spanish, right? Because when they invaded Mexico, and stuff. So it's funny what's funny to be mixed with all that, you know what I mean? And like you're trying to like decipher where
you're a descendant of some war loving, dude, because those French came over. We teamed up with them for helping us with the Revolutionary War and all that stuff, you know what I mean? And then your ancestors just mixed it up. Wartime love. And Joey's heritage was born on a battlefield, dude. But yeah, you know, so basically everything I was told as a child was totally wrong.
Yeah.
Not even any type of Scandinavian.
Wow.
Like I was hoping, like, okay, it's gonna be a
something.
Mix. It's gonna be a mix of Swedish and French, like all the. Nope, it's just all Western Europe and Northern. Like it's nowhere Scandinavian whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it's like, so are you guys just grasping at hoping that part of that British, Irish heritage and that German, like that Germanic heritage, was just raped and pillaged? I keep saying the R word.
We're done.
Demonetized again.
Thank you for tuning into the Bungalow Sports Show.
But like, are you just like banking on you being your ancestors were pillaged by some Vikings? So by proxy. Yeah. But that's like Paris. Like I told her, I was like, when she did hers, because she's like, they had a big surprise.
Oh really? They find out they're actually Lebanese.
Her mom was from France, right? When her dad, blah, 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 blah. Like, so it was going to be like, oh, it's going to be half French, half Persian. They get theirs back. Paris is like 99% Iranian.
Whoa.
So her mom is like full-blown Iranian and thought she was mostly French.
That's crazy.
Her whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's really cool.
And I was like, there's got to be some Mongolian in there, dude, because they took you guys over.
Yeah, they did for a little bit.
But anyways, and they're a blood ancestor of the outlaw Jesse James. Isn't that pretty cool?
How? Really?
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
Jesse James was Iranian?
No, but like one of Jesse James's ancestors and one of Paris's ancestors, you know,
at one point
smashed parts together.
That's crazy.
So as the bloodline split off,
how did they find that out?
23andMe.
Really?
Yeah. It came up right on there. And
do you think you need to do it more than once?
No, because they constantly update it when they get new people from your bloodline that the DNA connects on there, and then they go, oh, okay, and then your
so it's constantly changing.
We did it years ago, yes, and it's changed completely from the first time.
Look, I did it a few years ago.
Mine is pretty much the same because I'm just, Heinz 50. There's nothing to, there's no details because it's just white as white could be.
Yeah.
But if you went on there right now, I bet you'd see some differences.
My immediate family will not do it because they're afraid they're going to get cloned.
Hey, that's it for heritage talk.
I like how you shut me down, dude, but you just keep going. Isn't it funny?
You see him angling for more airtime on this show?
This is ridiculous.
Are you angling? You're angling for more. You're trying to impress the suits right now?
Can
we talk about some damn sports?
No.
We need to get going, dude.
Sorry.
We're 19 minutes in, Joey. We did a over 2 hour episode last week. We can't let that happen again.
What people just don't realize is you just keep talking. I'm trying not to look at them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I hired a producer. Jesus. Oh, there's Joey. Did you guys hear that? That's Joey's weird different button.
I'll move it closer for the next one.
That's all right. Just hit it.
Ready?
Uh-huh. Oh, it picks up. Don't worry about it.
That's our We're Different button.
That's our We're Different button.
Don't worry. We're going to use it a lot later on today.
If you missed last week's episode, Joey decided we're different. So then we decided we needed a button.
We needed a button to show
Joey
it off.
Really felt differently about what I was saying.
And we feel really differently coming up in these next few segments.
Okay, but we got to go through one real quick. One thing before we get into the real sports is the loosey-goosey update this week. Okay, last week, I know I brought it up. We had a big game coming up. We had it was a big rivalry game because the last game, one of the guys called our goalie the C-U-N-T word, see you next Tuesday word, and it was, I mean, we're 19 minutes in, so I feel like the algorithm only listens to the first 10 minutes. So
we can chop all that other stuff.
No, I'm not. So it's like we line up, and I line up for the face-off. I was on second. I played second line, right? Because Wayne's been showing up as a sub, so I've been letting him play on the first line.
Mm-hmm.
I played on second line center. Line up against this gentleman. We won't call him by his real name. We'll call him Jeff. I line up against Jeff, and he's like, "Hey, Cole, how you doing?" And I'm just like, "I don't know. I'm feeling a little cunty." Right, and then the game goes, and we're playing, and there's just, I found my moment where his guys we cleared the zone, right, and I was playing center, so I was at the blue, going up to the blue line. He was coming up to the blue line, and I could see out of the corner of my eye, when you're skating hard, like you can tell when somebody's kind of like bracing themselves, or kind of like I could tell he kind of braced himself so that like we were probably gonna collide. But like, I don't want to hurt this guy. I saw him do I'm going to brace myself so we don't hit each other real hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the opposite thing where I just lowered my shoulder a little bit, about collarbone height.
Yeah.
And just
laid into him.
Put him on his boot, dude.
Dang.
I just put him right on his butt.
Wow.
And
Cole's not very confrontational when it comes to that stuff either, you guys. So that's,
no, I'm not at all. I take offense when I do decide I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's
over.
It's all game. It's all fun and games after that, because nobody's out there looking to start a fight with anybody. So and there's no reason to use that kind of language. Not that I'm the language police, but that is a specific word.
He used it out of malice though,
and that's a specific word you use towards. And if our goalie wasn't a woman, I'd feel differently. If our goalie was a male and he called a male that, I'd feel differently too. Not in a sexist way, but in a way of like, that is a specific word that you are using to cut deep on a woman.
Yeah.
Right? A woman feels differently when you call her.
Yeah, that word does hit differently.
Versus a man, right? You know what I'm saying? So you specifically use that word instead of asshole, instead of bitch, instead of whatever. Like, you used that word specifically, so that was very malicious.
That word does hit very differently.
And nobody tried to fight him, but it wasn't a very fun game for him, I could imagine. Because anytime anybody got a chance to just tangle up with him,
they did.
You know what I mean? And
yeah,
we came out on top 5-2.
Beautiful.
Yours truly, I had the GTG.
Wow.
Game tying goal. Yeah. They came, the FNG, their team is called FNG, fucking new guys. And they came out and scored 2 goals in the first 20 seconds.
Wow.
Like real quick. I want to remind everybody, I said I was on the second line. I wasn't on the ice when that happened. But so then we get out there, and then we mix it up a little bit, and then we buried one. And then I got out there, and from down low, kind of top of the circle, left side. It's just my signature shot coming off, scoop it up off the boards, turn around, and just try to squeeze it under the armpit right there. It doesn't work all the time, but it worked. Got that GTG.
Shot on goal is better than nothing, dude.
And then
good for you, man.
Got that game tying goal, and then Big Wayno got out there, and
I bet he put the rest of the goals in, right?
No, he just scored that GWG.
Yeah,
he scored the game winner. But and then we obviously
just nail in the coffin. So
that was 3-2.
Yeah.
Second period, we ended up putting 2 more in the third, to just give a little more of a cushion. But loosey goosey, back on track. All right, before we get into things, I have an exclusive interview with Wayne. In the game winner.
Yes.
So. All right, Bungalow Sports Show pre-game interview on the Dirt League. I'm here with Wayne Silva. Number
7.
Position.
Whatever they need.
All right, what do you plan on doing in tonight's game?
Hopefully score and not get hurt.
Okay, we'll catch up with you after the game and see how you did. Here with the post-game interview. We're back here with Wayne. Wayne, number 7, Silva.
Yeah.
He ended up getting the game-winning goal. How'd that make you feel, Wayne?
It's just nice to score on Jason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good game, everybody. So, there's a couple things in there, right? The beginning, the pre-game interview, and the thought is just hopefully score, but not get hurt.
Right.
That is like the sentiment of the dirt league, right?
Yep.
Because we're all just a bunch of fat losers out there who got to go to work the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So not only do we want to play well, but most of all, we don't want to get hurt, right?
Yeah, because you get competitive, and sometimes some people put other people through the doors and they break their arm.
Well, and Wayne.
That's what happened to Wayne.
Wayne broke his arm one time because the door wasn't latched. And then when he said it's just nice to score on Jason, that's some inside baseball. That was the name of the goaltender on the other team who we played against for many years. And he gets a little saucy out there. So I feel like some people just, when you finally get one in on him, it's just a little extra relief. But, yeah, so loosey-goosey, with a 2-game win streak. Hopefully we can keep it going tomorrow night.
And moving on to the next topic.
Moving on to the Preakness. The second leg of the Triple Crown. We talked about the Kentucky Derbs a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
A couple weeks ago. Bob Baffert, the world's fucking shittiest. I don't know. He wins everything. He's like the best horse trainer of all time, but he also seems like a real shit person.
I think it just comes with the
territory.
Comes with wins,
But National Treasure wins the Preakness. Wasn't the favorite, but it was like the second choice. So not a huge did you do any betting on this one?
No, not on this
I'm
one.
glad.
Yeah.
You need to stay away from the ponies, dude.
I love the ponies, dude. I do. It'll be like a freaking 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, and I'm betting on ponies.
Now, what I was hoping I was going to hear from you is that you placed a bet on having a meltdown a few races before the Preakness, on the prelim races, we'll call them. I don't know, what do they call the races before the main race on those things? Like in fights, it's like the prelims, the preliminary.
I don't. They just call it the race one. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Yeah,
they just have numbers.
Yeah.
So I can't, and they all have fancy names each race too. Like
the Churchill Downs, or something.
But like. Well, Churchill Downs is the name of the place that the Kentucky Derby's at, isn't it?
Yeah.
But like, so like the Preakness is the main race, you know what I mean? But the ones before that, they have like the Prince George Final Cup Harristown Good Boy race. Like they all have these weird names. But having a meltdown, another Bob Baffert horse, a few hours earlier, had to be put down on the track.
No way.
And this is the one thing about horse racing that just I can't get down with, is that I get it, I'm not like total like I'm anti-animal cruelty, but I'm like not totally. Obviously I love eating animals. Horses specifically. None of these horses that we see racing,
specifically.
Not eating horses,
my
but
bad.
just
I'm
horses
sorry.
as an animal when it comes to protect it. Like these horses specifically that run these races wouldn't exist without horse racing.
Mm-hmm.
They were bred specifically for that. So if there was no horse racing, these horses wouldn't be bred. They wouldn't have ever been born, right? It's kind of like when people have like the argument about like not eating cows. Like that, it's like cows are like not indigenous to anywhere. So like if we didn't raise them to eat them and use their products, they wouldn't exist. Cows would be extinct if humans didn't consume them. Like that is like pretty much a fucking fact. Like cows are the bloodline of cows has been kept alive by the fact that we consume them.
Okay. Right?
So these horse races, they keep these horses being born. So it's kind of a double-edged sword for somebody like me who loves animals, and I don't know how cruel horse racing is to the horse, to anything like that.
Yeah.
But again, I'm very pragmatic, and I feel like this, having a meltdown, even though he took a piece to the dome yesterday because he broke his leg, he would have never had that leg if it wasn't for horse racing, right, in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took a tumble. And his jockey had to be hospitalized, They got to put up the nice little, the portable cubicle, and then, clap, clap. Like, I feel like Bob Baffert should have had to do it. Like if you're a horse trainer,
you got to dole out the punishment.
I feel like you got to do it.
That's like Game of Thrones.
And I get it.
Dude.
Parents is always like, why can't they do that? And I get the reasoning behind it is that horses are such large animals and their legs are such a huge part of their existence that if they break a fucking femur, like a human with human doctors can't even really be right after breaking a fucking femur.
Well,
right?
no, I thought it said that it doesn't heal.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like I'm just saying, think of being a 2,000-pound animal and then having a bum leg. Your life is miserable. Like, will they be able to walk again? And it's like, no, you can't get it to heal because they can't keep it straight for long enough. There's just so many complications if a horse breaks a leg.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know about horse racing. It's so crazy because it happens every race.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's that chicken or the egg. It's like the horse was born for racing, but then he broke his leg during a race and got capped.
I'm afraid to say something because I feel like we're gonna get canceled. You know?
What do you mean?
No, I'm just.
Are we different?
It's just a very, very
What you're worried about? Are you worried about?
I'm just trying to keep this show on the air. That's what I'm worried about. The show staying on the air.
Our CEOs live in Texas. I think they're fine.
No, I mean it doesn't. First of all, it doesn't happen every race, right? I mean, it happens.
It does.
It happens quite a bit.
Watch
but
those prelims, dude. No, I mean it happens a lot, dude. There was a stretch a couple years ago at Hollywood Park, the racetrack in Los Angeles. There was horses breaking their legs every week and getting put down.
So at what point is it the horse's fault or is it just the track? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, it's a combination of Hollywood Pork got shut down during that time because they were like, all right, we need an investigation to see what's going on with this track. And then it was just weird because it just kept getting opened back up, and then another horse would die, and then it was like I want to say like 2019, maybe 2020, like before COVID. I just remember that one specifically. I heard it all over the news, but well, congratulations, I guess.
National treasure.
To National Treasure, and rest in peace, having a meltdown, dude. R.I.P. R.I.P. Hope he's not melting in hell.
Yeah.
Do you think there's some horses that go to hell because they're bad horses?
They go to horsey hell?
Or is it? But is
you know what's funny is like I would have put my money on that because that's a great name, having a meltdown.
Is there just one hell for all species, or is there separate? Do they separate us?
You know what I was thinking about the other day was if you are in heaven, can you still go to hell?
Like, can you be kicked out? Can you be revoked? I don't think so. Wait, no, because there's like fallen angels and shit, right?
Fallen angels.
Yeah, but aren't you an angel once you get into heaven?
Are you an angel?
You get your wings, right?
I think there's different. Is that what happens?
St. Peter gives you your wings, bro, at the gate.
I thought he just lets you in the gate.
Yeah, but I think you got to be an angel to be in. Like, to go in the clubhouse, you got to be a Hell's Angel.
So now you have to be an angel.
Are you an angel prospect?
Yeah,
you got to earn your wings once you're inside. How do you earn your keep in heaven?
They got to patch them in. I don't know, dude.
They jump.
That's what I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, shoot, how do they, like, you can still mess up and still end up down, like.
Well, yeah, because some of them decided to join Lucifer, you know what I mean? And that whole.
But that's not supposed to happen.
War over the throne.
What's happening, dude?
You know what I mean? That was a while back, though, bro. But history repeats itself. Are you saying that if you're trying to get into heaven so you can start a war again?
I'm just saying it's interesting that
you're gonna ride having a meltdown into the heavenly battlefield.
You're spending an eternity in somewhere. And you change your personality every 7 years. Don't tell me that you're eventually not gonna make a decision that's gonna fall out of heaven. Okay? You know what I mean? Like,
hey, I can see that. That's.
You know what I mean?
That's what. Yeah, no, I picture you. Somebody out there, if we got any cool artists listen to this, draw a picture of Joey riding having a meltdown into the heavenly battlefields side by side with Lucifer.
Oh my God.
Ready to take on the throne, dude.
Because he's going to horsey hell? That's so messed up.
It was his, and then Joey at the end of the second war of heaven, like you try to blame it all on having a meltdown. It's like it was his idea, dude.
Yeah, he hit a gopher hole.
All right, combat sports. Let's shift a little bit of combat sports. This will be a quick one because Joey's just angry about it. We didn't talk about this last week. Talked about it for like a second on the Fight Night preview, but Devin Haney fought Vasily Lomachenko this weekend. It was Lomachenko's return after, I want to say 3 years, something like that.
Yeah, he left to go join the Ukrainian war.
Fight over there.
Which, this is the second time, I think the second time that he's left boxing, right? Because he left once, and he like trained in dancing for like 7 years or some crazy amount of time. Right. Came back, was pretty dominant. Yeah. Left again, at arguably, both times at like the prime of his career, and to go join a war effort, and now he's back, and
now he's old and war torn, dude. He's war battered. He's been battered by the.
He still looked really good out there, man.
No, he did, but that's the thing he doesn't like Lomachenko's a kind of a crazy. You can't compare him to anybody else, right? Because of the big breaks in his career, and then just the way he's trained. The fact of the matter is, I think this was only his 20th pro fight.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, 17-2, and this was,
right? So that's crazy for someone who was champion for so long and so dominant. Usually, I mean, we've talked about this before, is like boxing records are huge because they get so much on the come up, right? But his come up was all training. Yeah. His come up was training and dancing and doing all kinds of unorthodox type training, and then the Olympics, he's an Olympic gold medalist and then turns pro. So this being his 20th fight, you want to be like, dang, dude, he's got a long career ahead of him. But then it's like he's 39 or 38?
Yeah, he's getting
you know
what
I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not.
And the war, I'm sure, aged him another few years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, too, you go into a situation, you're a pro athlete. You're like one of the most famous people ever to come from your country. You know what I mean? Because there's plenty of pro athletes in America, but they're not even close to being one of the most famous people in America. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
So when you come from a much smaller country like that around the world, like, they're goddamn royalty, like people who come from smaller countries that get like internationally famous,
or they're in a sport that's not as popular over here, like ice skating or something. I mean, which is popular, but
soccer,
it does not hold
or anything like that where they hold a lot. It holds a lot more water somewhere else. But so you're talking about a guy that's like top 10 most famous people from the Ukraine, then going back to fight for the Ukraine in a war. So then you're gaining,
and he's a lightweight, so they're really not even,
you're gaining, lightweights in battle, dude. Come on. No,
I'm just saying, like, he's, everyone wants to see the knockouts, they want to see.
Oh, you mean from his boxing side of it? Popularity-wise. Yeah. But that guy was one of those fighters, or he is still. I mean, we'll see him against somebody else. I'm sure he's not going to quit. But even without the knockouts, Lomachenko is very entertaining to watch just because of his movement and because of his technique and things like that. If you're a boxer,
the fact that he can turn on a dime on somebody is like amazing.
If you're a boxing combat sports head, like, you can respect that. But
let's get into this real quick, dude, because I don't like I thought it was a much closer fight than they initially, or than the scorecards let on.
Right.
116 to 112. I thought that was crazy. That's a crazy gap. I mean,
we're talking about boxing, right?
Yeah.
So, it's always up in the air, right? But the thing is watching it from someone who didn't have any money on it.
Okay. Yeah.
It seemed fair enough.
Fair enough.
Like, I don't think it was
the
egregious.
only thing that Haney had was the right hook to the body.
Yeah, but he
for sure the first 6 rounds, that's all he had.
Sure, but that was winning him those rounds.
Every one that he threw, Lomachenko fired another 4 on top of him.
But they didn't all land.
2 out of the 4?
Maybe. Did you have your CompuBox?
I was ready. You know?
Yeah. I know. It's boxing.
Well,
it's
look,
hard.
and the stream that I was watching may not have been the best quality.
Right, it might not have been.
It may have paused a couple of times. And so, I may not have seen the whole round.
Well, boxing is hard when it comes to like close fights like that, or just fights that aren't, nobody decisively is like beating the shit out of the other guy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's hard because it's like Lomachenko's not beat up. Haney's not beat up. Like, they don't get to see the strike numbers because they have to just go on round per round. And when you have round by round, nobody's really just decisively putting it on the other guy.
Yeah.
Then you're looking at intangibles that oh, that guy's punches just look like they hit harder.
Well,
or that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll get you on that because that's Lomachenko fired a lot.
Right.
It didn't look like he did a lot of damage to Haney,
right.
But every time that Haney hit, you saw it.
It has that more thud to it.
I'll give you that.
So I think that's when in boxing, that's usually what it comes down to when you got.
But Lomachenko pushed the pressure the entire first 6 rounds. I'll give the 7 to 9 to Haney because he was starting to put a little wedge in his fight, but from 10 to 12, that was all Lomachenko. So I mean, he almost rocked him in the 11th round.
This is true.
I mean,
but again, it's just round by round.
Well, also you got a young man, right, who's holding the title right now. Right. We already talked about how old Loma is. So they're going to give it to the young guy.
Yeah, I think boxing, it's always going to lean that way, especially, like I said, when one guy's not beat up.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, which guy is more...
By the way, everybody on the internet agrees with me that Lomachenko should have won.
Everybody.
So
get in the comments. Hey, Lomachenko lost fair and square. Tell me I'm wrong.
He didn't. Even Shakur came out and said something, man. He should have won.
Shakur Stevenson?
Yeah.
So it's boxing, bro. What are you going to do? Don't bet on boxing.
Tired of it, dude. I know. I'm going back to MMA.
Don't bet on boxing. Don't bet on MMA either, because we'll get to why you shouldn't do that later. All right, moving on. NHL news. We got some NHL news, and I even got graphics to bring up for Joey today to go along with our news.
Gimme.
Now Joey can see the fancy graphics that I have right here after I edit them in later.
I'm so done talking about this kid, dude.
What? So we're gonna Austin Matthews. Why? You don't like him? Austin Matthews wants to get a long-term extension done with Toronto before the end of the offseason.
Why?
This is why I wanted to bring this up, because not that I care about the Maple Leafs, right? But I want to know, let's say you're Austin Matthews. Obviously, for the Maple Leafs, this is the right move, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Because he is, I mean, I wouldn't call him a generational talent, but he's like right below that. He's very, going to be one of the best hockey players of this generation. For sure, he will be remembered as. But is it the right deal for him? I don't think so.
No.
Like, is he? You think he's doing this because he thinks that that's the best place to win a championship, or just because he wants to stay in Toronto? And if you're good and you're on Toronto, you're like a superstar.
And what's crazy to me is that it's Matthews talking about it and not Toronto saying that we want to keep him for the next few years. It's him saying that he wants to stay there.
Right. And it's like a different atmosphere. Like you go to Nashville, he's not going to be the most popular guy in town. Do you think that plays into it?
I think
you go to another place, and just because hockey's not what hockey is in Toronto, you're not top.
Well, he's so popular of a player and so good of a player that he's gonna go where he's gonna make a name wherever he goes.
That's true, but I'm saying just the simple fact that you were talking about Toronto. You go to San Jose, then you got to contend with Steph Curry, and you got to contend with Christian McCaffrey, and you go to any
think
other.
That's really what he's thinking about?
I think it plays a part in it, right? Because obviously the Toronto Maple Leafs have been in the spot that they are in, kind of like the Rangers, kind of like where they should have really done something more than they've done for the last few years, right? But it just isn't happening. So is it him thinking that they're just right there? Like, if I stay here and they just get a couple more pieces, like we can make a deeper run? Or is it him is part of it like, no matter where I go, it's a crapshoot. If I get traded, obviously, I'm probably going to a non-contender, right? If it's an off-season trade, it's a team that's trying to build up their roster, right?
Right.
So I could stay here and be on that type of team anyways, where, we have all these expectations, we make the playoffs, and then we shit the bed.
Yeah.
But also be the most famous guy in town.
Yeah, and what's worse, to not make it at all or to constantly make it every year and have a chance?
Because I think players consider that in all sports, and then also how much flack are you going to catch over you
for leaving?
Because this is off his rookie contract right now, right?
True.
So he's getting a big deal if he signs a big deal. And then you have more not that you already haven't had expectations because you're on Toronto, you're the best team on Toronto, your best player on Toronto. But now you get all this money, so the city you get some more expectations from the fans, because it's like, okay, now you're taking up this much salary cap.
Right.
And then if you still don't produce, or do you become the villain? You know what I mean? Are you the Batman of Toronto?
Right.
Live long enough to become the villain. Sign a long enough contract to become the villain. You know what I mean?
Either die the hero.
Because that happens a lot, especially now because players are getting so much money across the board in sports lately, is that I think that brings more pressure. It has to, because there's still a salary cap and there's only so much money that can be spent. So if you're getting this much, then the rest of the team is lacking in certain areas, right? So I don't know. I don't think it's the right move. I think that there's so many teams right now that are on the cusp of being contenders or being playoff teams that, like, maybe a fresh start, fresh coach, fresh environment might be better for him.
Well, it's funny. My coworker has been betting on hockey, right? And he's like, "Oh, dude, the Maple Leafs are going to make it." And I said, "I guarantee you, they're not going to make it out of the second round." And he goes, "How do you know that?" I said, "Dude, that's their for freaking MO, right? You know what I mean? That they just don't make it out of the second round."
Yeah, there's like teams in certain decades, and Toronto, unfortunately, has been one of those for many, many decades. But it's like usually teams go 10 years. Right, there's like a 10-year cycle of like building to success, and then you get to the point where you should be getting the ultimate success, but you just don't get over the hump,
right?
And then you got to break it all down and start over again and start that 10-year process again. And hockey's not a huge trade sport.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, there's every sport changes, and all sports are bigger in trades and bigger in contracts now because the players have so much leverage. But players end up staying in places for longer times than most sports, in hockey. So it's like,
I mean, the Sedin brothers in freaking Vancouver for
and I think
their entire careers.
If Auston Matthews signs a big extension, I feel like he's going to be like the Patrick Marleau of Toronto, where he's going to be beloved. He's going to be this guy who's a great player, first round guy. Just, he couldn't ask for a better hockey player. But just never gets the numbies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why? Who knows? It's how hockey is. It's crazy.
Right.
Like, certain teams are just, it goes back to, are they cursed? I don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, certain teams, people forgot that the Ottawa Senators were even a team. I was telling my dad about Snoop Dogg, trying to buy the Senators, and he's like, "Oh, shit." He's like, "I forgot they were even a team. I thought one of these new teams took their spot." And I was like, "No, they're all expansion teams." He's like, "Oh, I just never even thought about it."
Wow.
Because it's like,
who was the best thing to come out of the Sens? Freaking
Danny Heatley. And he went.
Wasn't Carlson there?
Oh yeah, Erik Karlsson.
You know, I mean,
no, they're just that team.
No, they got good players.
Every generation they'll raise a fantastic player, and then he moves on because of the lack of success.
Yeah, I think it's the wrong move for Austin to stay there.
And Austin should move on.
I think he should.
And
so if you're listening, bud, let's right here.
Joey can get you his agent's number. That's working with Peak One Sports on behalf of for his contract.
I care about you. All right, look at that mustache.
All right, MVP finalists. We got those out this week for the NHL. Connor McDavid, obviously McJesus is front runner.
Yeah, for sure.
David Pastrnak, Pasta, from Boston. And the only one who's still alive in the playoffs, Matthew Tkachuk from Florida Panthers.
I think I'm going to go with Matthew, to be honest with you.
Me too. This is my thing about MVPs, especially with basketball this season, because Joel Embiid got the MVP, and then the Sixers shit the bed, right? And I get it. It's a regular season award. It's not supposed to be a postseason award, but I feel like MVP should just be, like, since you're not picking it till now,
right?
Why wouldn't you add in what's happened?
And and think about the name Tkachuk for a second, right? In the last few years, they're a hated name, right?
Yeah,
both of them.
Yeah.
And he slowly
by us.
I think by most people.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure, man.
People don't like Keith. Keith Tkachuk.
Isn't
that his dad?
I don't know.
Anyways, go ahead.
See, now you ruined my flow. But
sorry. Why is that name hated then?
For Brady and Matthew?
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
The brothers, man.
Right.
You know, they were a couple of scrappy dudes, just like Marchand, right? Just doing whatever they could. But now he's in this leadership role, right? And he's dragging these guys. Yeah, he's dragging these guys through the playoffs. 2
OT goals.
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
I mean, and he's become a really great player. The way that
3
he was
OT goals. He scored 2 in this series. The first 2 fucking games.
And listening to him just talk in the after interviews, I mean, I'm actually really pulling for him, and I like the Canes because I've been wanting Burns to win one and stuff. But I mean,
you can't. It's undeniable.
No, I would not be upset if they won.
Let's get into that series later. But I think I'm going Tkachuk too, because obviously McDavid.
He's already won it, man.
You could, and you've already won one, and now your only thing is you got to pull your team to the cup. Yeah, I'm not saying you got to win it, but you can't. You haven't done it.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah.
Pasta, you're a fantastic player.
Yeah.
Possibly the best player in the league, up there with McDavid.
You guys lost in the first round.
You guys got smoked. So
bye to Chuck and the rest of these guys.
And Matthew Tkachuk got that team. I mean, that's
Tkachuk. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Yeah, I go with Tkachuk on that one, but it'll probably give it to freaking McDavid.
Yeah. Well, that's their boy, dude.
All right. I forgot I had a graphic for that too. There you go. You can see their faces.
Yeah.
This is just a couple stats I wanted to go off before we get into the games.
What a freaking beauty this guy is, dude.
Coach of the Dallas Stars, former coach of the Las Vegas Golden Knights, former coach of the San Jose Sharks, former coach of the New Jersey Devils. Not only has he's coached for 4 teams and taking them all to the conference finals.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then this stat right here that I didn't even realize was a thing. He has the all-time Game 7 record at 7-0 in Game 7s.
Wow.
And he hasn't even been a coach that long comparatively to
to some of the other guys.
Stay around forever,
right.
you know. But yeah, so this has made me think of something, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I think we're going to bring in on this show every once in a while when it comes across our path. It's the low-key goat path, dude. Everybody talks about the goats and who is goated.
Right.
But if you ever know anything about goats, mountain goats, they always follow a path, right?
Yep.
So there's a path to being the goat. And the low-key goat path, Pete DeBoer's on that.
Absolutely.
And he hasn't even been in for that long as a head coach. He's already taken 4 separate teams to the conference finals.
Everyone that he comes in contact with.
You know what I mean? And he's got this 7-0 low-key goat path.
I was when he was in control of the Sharks, I was in love with him, man. He was great in the amount of trash talk.
It was undeniable.
But the amount of trash talk that came around, it was insane.
Because at that point in the Sharks, it was like win the cup or nothing.
Right.
Like you're a fucking failure if we don't win. The season's in the garbage, right?
Yeah.
But that's because people get that way after 25 years of frustration and all that stuff. So he kind of came, but he got us there.
Right there, dude. You know,
like you can't blame the coach for not winning the cup once you get there.
Right.
Like
they don't play the game, man. You know.
I mean, yeah, everything's a team effort, but especially in hockey, it's like being two guys who have played hockey for a long time. Like you can see, like as a coach, it's all just practice, putting plays together in practice. Because once the guys are out there, you're not moving them around like chess pieces. No. Hockey is such a flowing game. It's not basketball where people you get into the zone and then everybody's stationary.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
I am a defenseman. Well, sometimes you're gonna be up in that ozone.
Hockey is just constantly moving around. So it's like really. Once you're out there, it's up to you to be in the right goddamn spot.
Yeah.
He tells you what spot to be in, but after it's out there, it is what it is, right? Just like anything else. And I think Pete DeBoer, low-key goat path.
Yeah, for sure.
He's on there. Another low-key goat path this week is also from the Dallas Stars.
Absolute beauty.
This is 2 Sharks bias picks, but it was just 2 things that snuck out to me. And Joe Pavelski, this really makes me feel old. Oldest player ever.
Do you have a graphic for this one?
No.
Oh, hello.
Wrong graphic. There's the graphic. Joe Pavelski, oldest player ever with 7 goals in a series.
Look at him, dude.
7 goals in a series. God. And Joe Pavelski is 38 years old.
Yep.
He is my wife's age. I'm 37 still till August. But we're the same age.
Yeah.
I watched him get drafted. Mm-hmm. And now he's the oldest guy to ever, like, just having your name attached to it.
Right.
But Joe Pavelski, again, you got his Sharks career, Sharks captain, the success and the points that you had there. He's 3rd on the list of active players with playoff goals scored.
Yeah.
He's got this 7 goals in a series for any age of player. That's nuts.
Yep.
Right?
He just hit a milestone for his points. I mean,
So, Joe Pavelski?
Yeah, didn't he just hit a milestone a few weeks ago?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah. Low-key goat path.
Yeah, for sure.
Low-key goat path for Joe Pavelski.
Biased.
Any one of these guys win a cup this season, not low-key goat path anymore. They're on the goat path.
They're on the goat path.
You know what I mean? For real. It's so hard to win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Like, if you get one, that's like winning 2 Super Bowls. No, seriously.
Yeah, no.
Like, if you put Eli Manning.
Right.
His statistics are garbage, but he's won 2 of the most important Super Bowls ever because they were both against the Patriots.
I was gonna say,
you know what I mean?
One of the hardest teams.
Great postseason quarterback, obviously.
For sure.
Not a great, a serviceable regular season.
He's a gosh darn mouth breather.
But is
dude.
he going to go into the Hall of Fame? He won 2 Super Bowls. He better fucking go in the Hall of Fame. You know, because there's guys that are great postseason quarterbacks that never won a Super Bowl, and that's why it's in question, right? You know, your Phillip Rivers, guys like that do they belong there because of their statistics? Yes, but why is it in question? Because they never won a Super Bowl. You give Joe Pavelski, he's got those Phillip Rivers type regular season stats, career stats. You give him a championship in the NHL, he's a Hall of Famer.
He's a GOAT, yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's a GOAT.
All right, let's go. Let's talk about the games real quick. We're actually doing pretty good on time.
I was gonna say, are we running
my goal
over on
was
time?
to keep this thing under an hour 30, and we're at 54 right now.
Are we doing UFC or which one are we doing?
Let's. I just want to talk about the NHL things we got going on. We're not going to talk much because we're at the beginning of both these series. We got a game right after we finish this at noon. Dallas and Vegas play.
Yeah.
But we brought up that Florida Carolina. It's 2-0. Florida,
both overtime. And not very big. Since it's overtime, not big margins.
The story of this series right now is Sergei fucking Bobrovsky, dude. Jesus Christ, that guy is good.
Yes, he is.
I saw some statistic during that. Was it a 4 overtime the other night?
Yeah.
Game 1, he lost like 25 pounds during that game in water weight.
I didn't see that.
And then I was reading along more in the article, and he says in a regular game he loses between 10 and 15 pounds.
Get out.
And he lost over 20 during that game, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Like the amount of that's the thing about playoff hockey and overtime, and it just keeps going. That game ended at like 2 a.m. local time. They were playing since 7 local time.
Right.
I mean, name another sport. You want to give me another reason why hockey is the most brutal sport?
That's
you know,
yeah. If that doesn't show
1, you can
nothing.
fight. 2, you can hit each other and not get in trouble for it. 3, you're playing a kind of a real tough skill-like sport, and you're doing it on razor blades. 4, and if it goes to overtime in the playoffs, you're not going home.
And I don't know if we talked about it, but I was just thinking about this the other day. It's the only sport where you are encouraged to talk shit to the referees.
Right, just talk shit to everybody.
Well, but I'm saying to everyone else, they'll throw you out of the game.
So
you know what I
mean?
So
that series right there, Sergei Bobrovsky. Obviously, Antti Ranta's doing well too because they're close. They've been overtime games.
Yes,
but when you're looking, the shots on goal for Sergei Bobrovsky is crazy, dude. He going into last night, he had saved 41 straight saves going into the game last night, and then saved. Because that was just the one overtime. I want to say he and it was 2-2 going into overtime.
Yes.
He was 36 of 38.
Oh my god.
On top of the 41 straight from the night. But this is bananas. He made over 50 saves in that 4 overtime game, or 60 saves or something like that. Something crazy.
Wow.
And just
the athleticism, man. It's
right,
crazy.
and then not skipping a beat in game 2.
Yep.
All right, we'll be quick on the UFC results because it was kind of a meh card. Me and Alexis will get more into that on the fight night preview this week.
Demopoulos.
Oh my God, yeah, Vanessa Demopoulos just came out and just laid a big old Demopoulos, dude, right on the middle of the octagon. Karolina Kowalkiewicz wins a unanimous decision there. Just pieced her up the whole fight. Old Vanessa shouldn't get too far from the pole if that's how she's gonna fight. Diego Ferreira, Michael Johnson. This is another one me and Alexis picked. We thought old Michael Johnson was gonna get back in the win column. He did not. He got slept so scarily. He had one of those.
Oh no!
Like just straight up one punch, body stiff, bam, timber. On the ground, still stiff, toes curled.
Oh, no.
One of those scary knockouts, dude. He got blasted. And we got Joaquin Buckley, Andre Fiallo. Another wrong pick for me and Alexis. We thought Andre Fiallo was like really high-level striker. Joaquin Buckley, this was his first weight cut down to welterweight. He was at middleweight, said he got tired of getting knocked out.
So he decided to go down.
So he went down and knocked the shit out of Andre Fiallo. So that one was a decent one. Then we had old Lupi Godinez. This is a right pick for us. This was a unanimous decision. Fight kind of went the way we thought it was going to go. Uneventful, but...
Ducati?
Dakota is what they call her. Yeah. And then this is another fight that we picked correctly. We had Edmund Shabazi and Anthony Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez is a straight dog. Dude. Like, this was a 3-round, just freaking, he just beat him up. It was crazy. The first, 2 minutes, I was like, shit, Anthony Hernandez was getting pieced up, just getting, Shabazian was landing. I'm like, here's another freaking loser column.
Yeah.
And then after, the first couple minutes, and then after their first, wrestling exchange, I don't know if his gas tank, I don't know what happened, but Anthony Hernandez started landing shots, started just wrestling the shit out of him, just manhandling him, and just hamburgered his face for the rest of the fight, all the way till the end of the third round, and then the ref finally stopped it, because it wasn't like it was an overwhelming, holy shit, he's going to die if he doesn't get it to stop him, but it was just Shabazian literally has nothing. He can't defend himself intelligently, so he's still there. He's not knocked out. He could technically keep going, but at a certain point with the refs, you got to just fucking stop it.
Safety, yeah.
He could have done that in the second round. You know what I mean? He let him last through and then into the third, and then it was like, okay, this is enough of that. And then the big surprise for me, I mean, not a huge surprise as far as the odds makers go, but Mackenzie Dern wins just a really one-sided unanimous decision against Angela Hill. Another wrong pick for me and Alexis.
Very deserving, or?
Oh yeah, she came out. So I wrote down here my only note for this whole fight card was Mackenzie Dern did what Crone Gracie couldn't, and that was being super highly hyped BJJ world champion, coming in just tapping everybody out, the next big thing, and then got to take some time off because you got thrown to the wolves a little bit, and you got exposed a little bit. So it's time to ramp up your striking game.
And she
come back. That. She fucked Angela Hill up in the striking game. Angela Hill, another dog. Because this one, I feel like if Mackenzie Dern was just this little more of a better striker, that fight would have been finished maybe in the first.
Oh, wow.
But she would hit Angela Hill with something heavy, obviously hurt her, and then she would go for a takedown. Obviously, she wants to get her down. That's her best chance of stopping the fight is on the ground. But Angela Hill stuck in. She got out of 3 arm bars. She got out of some chokes. She was not going down.
Dang.
And she before the fight was saying that she likes, people have compared her kind of to Cowboy Cerrone, the female cowboy. And she's like, that's what I like. At this point in my career, it's yes, I want to fight for title, but I want people to recognize me as someone who will fight anybody, anytime. Give me a big name. I'll fight them on a day's notice. I'm always ready to go in there. I'm never going to give up in there.
She's just a fighter. She's just a fighter.
And that's, obviously I want her to win. She seems like a cool lady, but it's if you're going to lose, that's the kind of mindset that I like at this point in somebody's fighting career is
absolutely.
You got to be pragmatic, and you always got to, and you have to be a little delusional to always think you have a chance to win, right? Otherwise, why the hell are you going in there?
Right.
But a little bit of kind of self-realization of where's my career at? Am I going to be more successful money-wise, career-wise, if I only try to go for the title? Or should I just, if they want to give me Mackenzie Dern, I'll take that. If they want to give me a number 20 ranked fighter, I'll take it if they need it. Not that you're you're going to company shill, but for your career,
sure. It's
how you said it when we previewed it last week, because we made this fight one of our picks. Is look at her. She got a rough record.
Yeah.
But it's okay, so let's work it. That means you've been around for a while. You can hang in there with anybody, even the top rank. You're not going to win probably, but you can hang in there.
Right.
So the UFC knows they can call you and make a short notice fight that's not going to be a stinker.
No.
This wasn't short notice, but I was just, as a fighter, that's where Angela Hill's at. She obviously, going to be bummed that she lost.
Yeah.
But dude, I would have tapped out from just the aggressiveness.
I think that's something to be able to hold your hand up at the end, is that she didn't,
just the fact that she defended the submissions to me.
Yeah.
It was a real surprise. Mackenzie Dern's striking was a real surprise. She's got real power. Obviously doesn't have the crazy technique like Angela Hill has, but that's the difference between, we were saying, Haney and Lomachenko. It's You gonna be the technical guy who lands 4 shots, or the one that lands that
power
thudding shot where everybody goes, "Oh!"
Right?
Because that's the judges aren't looking at the numbers.
Right.
They heard that. Oh,
even those numbers were fudged though. But that's for a different day.
So yeah, congratulations, Mackenzie Dern. I guess I doubted you a little bit. I think, but that was a lot to do with.
Well, now let's just see what she does next.
I'm on the Dern train now, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Choo choo.
Wow.
Choo choo Dern train. All right, what about Joey's quickies? What do we got?
Okay, I got a few. They're not exactly headlines. They're just stuff I kind of wanted to just talk about.
All right.
What's up with Tyson Fury, dude?
Tyson Fury went off on Joe Rogan. Is that what you're talking about this week?
Just the when he's talking about Jones or John Jones, and yeah, he did go off on Rogan, but
yeah, there was like a headline because Rogan. I didn't listen to the podcast. I pick and choose Rogans now if it's somebody that I want to hear or whatever. But apparently, and he said it before. It's just like anybody who's a high level boxer, like. Versus the highest level MMA fighter. If you were in an MMA fight, the MMA fighter's gonna win.
Yeah, but
if you're in a street fighter, the MMA fighter's gonna win, right? And Tyson Fury took a big offense to that.
He did,
saying that he had no chance against John Jones.
So he first came out saying, if he and I stepped into a room, he's not walking out. That's what he's like. He said, I'm the only one coming out.
Okay,
street fight, right? Then John Jones responds and says, well, come to MMA, right? He says, I'll throw down with you. Then Tyson comes back and says, well, I'm not an MMA fighter. I'm a boxer, right? So if you want to step into the ring, we can do that. But I got respect. So all this stuff. So completely changed his tune after John finally said something, right? So, and then, dude, like there was like a list of all these people that he's like been beefing with. Like, what is going on with this guy,
Well, he's
dude?
always been kind of a mental case, you know what I mean? Like, so
he's talking crap about Ngannou and all these other guys. It's like,
for somebody who can, some reason, never get an Anthony Joshua fight put together. Like, that's the thing. That's the problem with boxing is like, they create a lot of beefs and they create a lot of hype around certain fights or certain things, and then it doesn't happen.
And he fights some,
because
underqualified person.
It's not about seeing who the best fighter is in boxing. It's about how do we make the most money and making sure I'm the A side. No, you're the B side. No, I'm the B side. No, it's like let's just make as much money as we can, but that's why MMA is always the best. Is because what happens when I talk about these too much too quick. Like, yeah, that happens, but that's the only way you're going to find a superstar like a Conor McGregor or somebody like that is sometimes you got to throw somebody
to the wolves. Yep.
And in this case, in boxing, high level, you're not even talking about throwing to the wolves. You're talking about guys that are on the same level. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. These guys are from the same country. It would be the biggest fight in British boxing history. And they can't put it together. Right?
Yeah.
Because whoever going to lose wants to make sure that they're compensated. And it's just like, that's the problem.
Right.
You got to think if you're a professional athlete for the betterment of the sport, your attitude has to be, I am the best, so therefore I want to fight who anybody else thinks is the best so I can prove that they're not the best. I'm the best.
Right.
But they say that, but then when the fight never gets put together, then it's just like, oh, manager. It's like, yeah, but if you wanted it to happen,
you would just say, give me it. Just give me it.
You are the fighter. Without you, the manager has no job. So it's like, no, if you really wanted it to happen.
Well, it's not that big of a, I don't care. I want to fight him.
Right.
Give me it.
And we saw the Ryan Garcia Tank Davis fight. Like, that seems like one of those fights that would have just kept been beaten around the bush. No, that happened.
Yep.
You know what I mean? This Lomachenko-Haney fight. Like, I just want to see high level versus high level.
Yeah.
When you get to a certain point in boxing.
Sure.
Like, I could care less about low level stuff in boxing, right? Because usually there's one guy who's supposed to win and he wins most of the time. We were talking about that, beefing up records and things like that.
Yeah.
That's why I love MMA, because you don't get
no, that's the matchmakers for MMA.
And there's so many ways to lose.
Really great.
You can't predict you can predict some stuff in boxing because of styles versus styles, but in MMA, the guy might be, a kickboxer, so it's like, oh, we only got to worry about this guy's stand-up. But it's like, yeah, but he still knows how to do a guillotine. He still knows
how to do it, man.
So if you go to take him down the wrong way and he gets a guillotine, then you just gave him.
Or not even knowing how to do it, but more or less being able to defend against it. Right. I mean, that's the most important thing right there, right?
Okay, moving on.
Savannah Bananas.
I'm kind of glad you brought
and
this
the
up.
glorious thing they are doing for baseball.
I always catch I've been aware of the Savannah Bananas for a while.
I have too.
They are like they are bringing baseball into the social media world, and they're making their money. They're doing their thing. They sell out.
They're going on tour now, which is great.
But I don't like it. I like it. It needs to be more marketed as the Harlem Globetrotters than actual.
What is it marketed as?
Minor league baseball.
Is it though?
Yes, isn't it?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. I think they know exactly what they're doing.
No, I think they know what they're doing, but aren't they in an actual Major League Baseball, like minor league system? League?
I don't think so. I thought it was like their own thing that they're doing.
Is it?
That's what I'm led to believe. I could be wrong.
Well, you're the Savannah Bananas expert over here.
Hey, man.
Bringing this quick topic over here.
So I brought it up to you, right?
I hate these fucking guys.
This is why I brought it up, because that was the immediate reaction that I said when I sent it to you. I just wanted to see what you thought about him.
I hate these fucking guys, dude.
Why? You don't like the fan interaction? A lot of these guys are minor league players and people who went to the show and who, came back down from it because,
It changes my tune if they are Harlem Globetrotters. If it's them and the team they always beat.
Dude, a guy walked up and tap danced.
No, I realize what they do.
Gotta get that boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
see
mean?
all their stupid dances and all that stupid shit. And if it is purely entertainment and not trying
and the umpire is out there twerking his ass too.
I see it all. But that doesn't belong on this show because this is a sports show and that ain't a sport.
Oh God. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I'm a purist, bud.
Okay.
All right. I'm all about high level.
All right.
I'm all about high level athletes doing high level athlete shit. All right.
Dude.
But if they are if it's a Globetrotter situation and it's like an enclosed thing, then I'm fine with it.
Well, my last quickie, it was more of a just kind of a talking shit thing. ESPN Plus.
What about it?
You can't watch jack shit on it, dude.
What do you mean?
There's no NHL games, right? And if they do have them, they just had it on NHL. Didn't they have the game at like 10 p.m. or something like that?
ESPN Plus.
You know what I mean? They're stopping.
It's not for watching live stuff.
They didn't post the what was it? They delayed the game, the NHL game, so that they can finish playing the MLB game.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like.
So here's the thing with ESPN Plus is I tend to agree with you. The only reason I have it is because of the UFC content.
Well, even then, you're paying full price for a PPV.
Yeah, but you can't, even the free ones, you can't watch anything you can't watch the fight nights without ESPN Plus. Only some of them are free on ESPN, like one every few months.
Yeah.
So all of the free content, all the UFC content, you can't watch it anywhere else unless you buy Fight Pass. And still, I think you have to buy ESPN Plus, even if you have Fight Pass, just to get the pay-per-views. So it's like, it's
just money. Just money.
We bring this up every week. It's a fucking joke.
But this is something I wanted to, just something that kind of hit me a little hard, dude, because it's like for some of us, like I got rid of I guess it's my problem, right? Because we got rid of our cable TV and all this other stuff. So it's my fault that I can't watch the fucking games, right?
Why can't you watch the games? Get something else.
Like what?
Hulu plus Live TV,
plus Live
YouTube TV.
You think I made a money, dude? I'm not making money on this yet. Can't start paying for YouTube or
well, you
Hulu
said you cut out your cable, so you should have some extra money left over.
Do you hear this guy over here? You're not even paying me. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, with Live TV.
No, you got to get Live TV through YouTube or Hulu or something like that. Or people, there's a lot of different options.
Okay, I'll do that then.
But yeah, and then theoretically, like the amount you pay for cable, satellite or whatever, like the amount you pay for your streaming plus Live TV thing plus an ESPN.
Well, way to just take me down, dude. I thought we were gonna sit here and just talk shit about ESPN.
No, it's bullshit. But what are you gonna do? I'm a degenerate. I want to watch UFC stuff.
I want to watch it all.
So
I want to be able to watch it all. It should be at my fingertips. We're in 2023, dude.
Alexis is at home right now, just going, "You fucking idiots, paying for any of this." Not that
I didn't pay for the fight last night, but I'm just saying. Oh
shit, dude! They're gonna come down on us now. You're a pirate.
I didn't say how.
Joey's a pirate.
I didn't say how.
Joey's a pirate.
I didn't pay for it last night because I was at a friend's house watching it.
Your slightly older but really, really good-looking older male friend.
Yeah. Anyways, dude.
All right. Let's wrap this thing up. We got last week. We're different. We got last week's pick results coming in hot. We got Stars. They beat Kraken. The Kraken in Game 7. Both of us chose that one right. Mm-hmm. So congratulations on that one, buddy.
You too, buddy.
And then the Stars now are up one game. They're about to play here in a couple hours. We have the Denver Nuggets beat the Lakers in Game 1. Cole was right.
And Game 2.
Joey was wrong. Yes, they have at this point won Game 2 and Game 3. They're up 3-0.
Which it's safe to say that if you're losing your first two games,
you think that's going to be A sweep?
I think I texted you, didn't I? Nuggets in 6?
Okay.
Oh, no, I said Panthers in 6.
Panthers in 6.
But
All
I think Nuggets in 6 as well,
So
too.
we split that one. We split this one, too. Mackenzie Dern, we talked about that. Beat up Angela Hill. Joey picked Mackenzie. I picked Angela. We split that one. Congratulations, Joey, on that one.
Thank
and
you,
then
sir.
This one, we both shit the bed because we picked the stripper. And Vanessa Demopoulos. I am off the Demopoulos train for now. Not saying you don't have it in you.
I'm not off of it, dude.
You're on that
I'll
train
ride
still?
that train to the station, baby.
All right, this week's picks. I only got 3 of them on the list this week because there's no UFC coming up. This is a little rare break we have from combat, high-level combat sports this weekend. Stars Knights game 2. That's in 2 hours. What do you think?
I want the Stars to win, but want and probably going to win. It's 2 different things, right? So I'm going to go with Knights on this one.
You're going Knights?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Knights on this one. The Stars game, I mean, the last game, I think it went into overtime, didn't it? So it wasn't like a, it wasn't like a blowout, which is great. It's always good to be on.
Everything, all the conference finals gone to overtime every game so far.
So it's, I mean, which is pretty great, man. You don't want to see like a one-side domination. I mean, if it's going for games, like 4-game sweep or whatever, that's great. But you want to see some effort being put in.
Sure, I want to see some effort.
So
but also, I'm going to pick the Stars because I will never pick the Knights ever in the history of ever. Like, my favorite meme this whole week was reasons the conference finalists deserve to win the cup, and it was like Florida hasn't been back for a while. Carolina, they've been on the path for a while and deserve to break through. The Stars, like there was some other thing in it, or they have Joe Pavelski to vote to root for,
right.
And then Vegas, and then it's just blank.
Well, I'm not picking them. It's just for the game.
I know.
It's just for the game. I want the Stars to win the series.
I refuse.
I already promised my friends or my other friends that if they win the series, I'm buying a jersey. Okay. So it's happening.
Okay. Well, when you wear it in here, I'm gonna blur out the logo on it, like it's something offensive.
Florida and Carolina.
Game 3, Florida Carolina. We just had that OT. Kachuk again buried one. Florida up 2-0. Can Carolina? Kind of. I mean, they're going away now. They lost both at home. What's that? I mean, are they going to be able to pick one up in Florida, or is this going to be a sweep? Or more game 3? What do you think? I'm interested. Tomorrow?
I'm going to go Florida.
Me too.
I'm going to go Florida.
I mean, we both want Carolina, obviously.
Now I'm kind of excited to see him sweep, though.
But when it's not your team, then you start rooting for situations.
Right. They're not even in our conference, dude.
It's not my team. I had a reason to go for Carolina because of Brent Burns.
Yeah.
And I like Rod. I love Rod the Bod.
But if you're going to choose to shit the bed.
Dude, I love Rod Brindamore. He's got the craziest jawline of all time.
Yeah.
He's got that cool little tuft of gray in the front. You know what I mean? And, he just seems like a cool coach. And I want him to break through. He's, a guy who won a cup with Carolina. Funny little thing about that series is that Paul Maurice, the Florida coach, coached Rod Brindamore in Carolina.
No way.
When they went to the conference finals. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, now they're coaching against
Full circle,
other.
Dude. How cool is that?
But, yeah, we're both going Florida on this because now Carolina has lost 2 in OT. Florida's going home for 2 more. Now I just want to see a sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Cause
why not, dude?
Right.
Secure that MVP position,
That's right. Yeah. There you go.
Lakers versus Nuggets
Nuggets game 4. Is this going to be
as much as I want to see the Lakers come back? I want the Nuggets will probably sweep.
You going sweep?
I'm gonna go sweep.
I'm going sweep. Sweep City today. We're a couple janitors, dude.
Remember,
we're sprinkling that sawdust over the 3rd graders' puke in the bathroom when we're sweeping it up. Dude.
There's a lot of playoffs going on, and we are nothing if not playoff experts.
Yeah, we're a couple sweep daddies.
Sweep daddies.
A couple sweep daddies right here.
Woo!
Alrighty, this show is just about over. Joe, my colleague and friend. I got a list of shout outs. I got 3 shout outs this week, all right?
Hit me.
All right. I added one since I sent you the rundown.
Oh, you did? Okay, I was gonna say I only saw 2 on there.
First one's a quick one. I want to give a shout out. Maybe this is a little brown nosing to our bosses, the suits over at Peak One Sports, Ashton, the brothers, Ashton Nix, Tony Nix, the brothers, the hosts of the leadoff.
That's a dope last name too. The Knicks, dude.
Yeah, they're the hosts of the leadoff show on Peak One Sports. Go check it out. I wanted to give them a shout out because they've been doing a MLB jersey series where they're looking at the different teams' alternates, and just the different jerseys and their opinion on them. You know me, I'm a jersey boy, dude.
Yes,
I love jerseys. I love the color scheme of a team.
You look
I
good.
almost switched from the Sharks to the Kraken because I like the Kraken's tone of blue better. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
I'm just kidding. That would never happen. But I'm a big jersey guy. You know, we've talked about it. If you got a good face, you got a good name, you got a good backstory. Hell, if I got nothing else, if you got a good jersey, I'm in.
I'm going for it.
So go tune into the leadoff. They're doing their jersey series, and go comment on your favorite jerseys. But I just wanted to tell those guys right now that my pick for best baseball jersey was made this week.
Yep.
And that was when I was sent this little tidbit. The new uniforms for the Nippon Ham Fighters in Japan. I mean, look at these succulent pieces of fabric.
I don't know if
dude.
that's the same guy, but look how much mass it added to his shoulders.
This guy's a coach because he looks like he has a lineup in his hand there.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not too high level when it comes to Japanese baseball, but I will tell you what I'm high level in. That's picking sweet jerseys.
Yeah.
And these jerseys right here, I mean, this is other level stuff. Look
That
at
is a
this.
nice deep V, dude. Look at him. It's got the 80s collar popped out.
Yeah,
this is
dude.
amazing. Look how tight those pants are.
You know what they look like? They look like they should be one of the opponents in basketball. You remember that movie? Did you ever watch that movie? Holy shit. You've got homework, dude, this week before you come back.
Okay.
Next week, tune in for Joey's review of basketball.
Basketball.
Oh, my God. From the creators of South Park, Matt Stone, Trey Parker.
Never watched it.
They made a movie called Basketball back in the late 90s, and it is a freaking classic, dude.
Okay, I'll watch it.
All right. So, yeah, everybody out there, go watch Basketball.
Basketball.
And tune into the leadoff and let them know what your favorite jerseys are.
That is a great jersey, though. That's amazing.
My second shout-out this week, this is the new addition to what we're doing, and that is from the Florida Panthers. Joey and I's Florida Panthers, our sweep daddies,
Yep.
is Radko Gudis's beard. Look at this beard.
That is amazing.
Look at this beard.
It is thick.
It looks like he looks like a Russian czar.
Yeah.
And his name is Radko Gudis. That's one of the most solid names right now, too, especially in the playoffs.
If you were to just say Radko Gudis, this is definitely somebody I would picture.
Shout out to Radko Gudis,
yeah, dude.
defenseman for the Florida Panthers. Your name's getting shouted out this week. Radko.
Radko.
Gudis, that one's a good one.
Your team.
Your beard. Your team. You're a sweep daddy.
Sweep daddy Radko.
That beard is what's sweeping. What's sweeping the ice right there.
That's right.
That beard is sucking in all those hurricane
Sweep daddy
force
Gudis.
winds.
That's so dope, man. God, look at that freaking
dude. And he goes out of his way to make sure the mustache is swooped, so he looks a little more Russian that way too.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
The Rasputin of the NHL, dude.
Stop.
I bet he's got a big piece, dude.
Yeah, hey man.
This is not that kind of show, Joey.
Look at that suit
right.
though, dude.
And the final shout out, and we're gonna close this out strong.
Yeah.
Martha, MF, and Stewart
in
the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Got to give you a shout out. She's getting up there. It might be a shout out, dude. Shout out Martha, dude. Shout out to Martha. She's just something. I read a little article, little piece. She says it's something I always wanted to do when I was younger. It was something people I always admired in those things. And I mean, let's do it, Martha. What's up?
She's killing it, dude.
Yeah?
Yep. Hey.
You going to buy that edition, dude?
I might, dude.
I haven't bought a physical magazine in decades.
It's been a long time.
I might have to buy the Martha swimsuit one. Get some pictures up in here on the wall.
Yeah, dude. Between her or Dolly Parton.
I mean,
for sure.
This lady's old as shit. She went to prison. And
she has a cooking show with Snoop Dogg.
And she's still smoking all that weed, eating all those munchies, and she's still looking like this on the cover of
Usually at the Bottle Rock Festival in Napa, she goes to their culinary stage, and she'll be out there with Snoop Dogg, and they have Steph Curry out there and stuff, and they're out there cooking it up, dude.
Martha's killing it,
Yes,
dude.
she is, dude.
And now she's on the swimsuit edition.
God, man.
Damn,
Keeping
Martha.
it tight, you know?
Keeping it tight, Martha. How you keep
Good
it
for
so
you.
tight? Good for you, Martha. You have the stamp of approval.
From the Bungalow
Sports Show. All right, Joey. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you to all you guys.
Hour and 22 minutes.
Really?
Of fury. It's exactly what I wanted.
That's pretty good, dude.
I want to keep. We'll see what happens.
We got to keep it.
I feel like I have 8 minutes to kill now. because my goal was an hour. Under an hour 30.
That's pretty good. I thought we were going over.
Hey, everybody! I want you to comment. Comment. Do you like the 2 hour? Do you like the long blab fest like last week? Do you like us keeping it tight and concise like Martha Stewart's
rapid fire
midsection? Do you like this show tight? Like the skin around Martha Stewart's cheekbones? Do you want us to keep it tight, or you want us to keep it loose? I'm not going to make a comparison there because that would just be mean if I made a comparison. But anyways, thanks guys for tuning in. Our last week episode basically got the same amount of downloads as the week before in like 24 hours. Like,
thank you guys so much. This is amazing.
We're not blowing the world up yet, but slow growth is all we can ask for. So go subscribe if you're watching this and you don't have a YouTube profile. Just go make one and subscribe. Go make one and comment. Go make one and like it. That will help the network. It will help us.
If you guys are interested in merch, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing is I love making merch.
Sweep daddies, playoff experts.
Playoff experts, sweep daddies, subject matter expert. Yeah. We're different. We got lots of merch ideas, but I'm not going to waste my time and hard-earned money unless I know some people out there want it. So let's get in the comments and let us know what you need. And more importantly, get us to 100 subscribers so me and Joey can put on Dog Shot.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. All right, everybody. Have a good week. We'll talk to you next time.